What it do, family? It's your girl TOOTIE. I am back with another video. Shout out to everybody that's on the stream. Shout out to everybody that's in the comment section, YouTube and Twitch. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're at 1,210. We are 40 away from our next sub goal. We getting closer and closer to that 2K. You did? Closer and closer. You're getting back to 2K too. Look, we about to slide over here. We've been doing some recaps of any NaZiyah's videos that I missed. And I had missed quite a few. Like seriously, earlier of last week, we went through some of the transcripts from Brooklyn. It was earth shattering stuff that I seen and read. But then it opened up doors to make you want to go back and review some of the things that we reviewed. So we had been doing just that. Now we know that there is a jury selection that's supposed to happen in October. So hopefully they don't be doing no dumb shit. Hopefully somebody tell before then. I've been praying for somebody just to find it in their heart to tell the truth so we can go and retrieve this girl if we can. Every baby deserves to come home, no matter the condition. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're about to get into this vid. I appreciate everybody for liking it, sharing it, doing all that good stuff. Let me add me up here, and we'll get started. Now, Breakfast and Bud, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 to 12. Make sure you join us over there. It's a good vibe. And then I'm usually here Monday through Friday, 2 to 6. Catch me. Yeah, feel me? But let's get into it.
All right, y'all. It's about that time, man. I am waiting for everybody to connect to the broadcast and whatnot so we can get this thing started, man. So without further ado, y'all go ahead and get yourselves comfortable, man, so we can have this conversation. Grant, be right back. What's going on, man? We are live once again, and I am right now in the process of trying to get this brother connected to the video chat link. But y'all can't hear me. Our father is connected to the line. We're here 1 second. So I think I'm gonna have him call into the phone. Bro, can you hear me, bro? Okay, let me see. I got 2 Mervins now. Can you hear me, bro?
Oh, shit.
See, his screen is froze. We're having some
Oh,
technical.
oh no, turn that off. Turn that off.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yo, we finna get to where we can hear him talking.
You heard me? All right. So we're gonna have the father call in, man. We was trying to get him video chatted in, but we having some technical issues. His phone. I'm gonna go ahead and give me one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So we couldn't get you on the video chat, man. I really wanted to, kind of talk face to face with you digitally, man, and had this conversation with you. But just first off, man, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm just, I'm frustrated and hurt, confused, just everything, and just trying to stay alive. That's about it. Trying to stay alive.
Dig it. Now, when you spoke to me last night, you said that you had like no idea about what was going on in regards to the situation. So, what did you know or what didn't you know?
What I do know is that he wasn't there a lot. Fuck it. I've been on Lady's ass. I've been on the Net's ass. I've been on Shannon's ass. I'm going to get on his. We know the story behind it. We know the circumstances. We know this man had a whole wife. We know that he was just sleeping with Lady. We know how this shit goes. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody, listen, I got smoke for everybody. Because, this was a time that she needed her father more than anybody. So, yeah, let's keep going. Let me drink and shut the fuck, because I've been a guy aggravated and we ain't even started.
So, I was, and I got a really, really bad heart. Operates at 5%. So I was in a hospital when the police contacted me. And so it took me by surprise. So they asked if they could give the grandmother the number. I'm like, yeah, because, we had lost contact. So they gave her the number, so I continued talking to the police. Everything, like she said, everything that this woman has said, it's been like in a common way. Like, she's a straight A student. She sent me pictures of, like young pictures, like to where in my mind I'm like, okay, my baby's still okay.
Yeah, but your baby you could have still came over there and see your baby. Rest in peace to you, sir. But I'm gonna be honest, all the way around the board. You feel me, bro? Like seriously. But I told y'all Annette was the one. Look how she trying to send pictures to make it seem like this girl was over there just living life. Lying ass lady.
So with NaZiyah and NaZiyah's mom, just briefly, okay, we had made an agreement when she was born that the grandmother would take care of her. Now, the grandmother needed full rights to be able to provide full care, So we both signed over our rights to the grandmother. I put myself on child support. Now, once you did that, I put myself on child support. I would still go over their birthdays, taking clothes, everything. When I had this procedure done to my heart, I didn't have a phone for a while because I was in hospital. They put a defibrillator pacemaker in. I had to go to rehab to work, so I lost contact. When I got out of there, they had moved, so I couldn't get in contact with them.
Was this the time when they moved just 4 houses down? Yeah, I ain't trying to be funny, but is that the move he talking about real quick? Huh?
Now, forward 3 or 4, maybe 5 years later to now, however much time that was, now my daughter's missing. And that's when the police came down. Okay. So that's briefly.
Okay. Now, I want to say, without, I don't mean no disrespect by it, but without getting into too much your business, your personal business, I guess as deep as you want to go, why was it that you felt like you needed to give your rights up to?
Facts. Mark, hell, would you answer that, Pops?
Or as opposed to raising her yourself, if you knew that the mother was in whatever condition that she was in where she couldn't take care of her. Why didn't you take it?
All right, so I made a decision. For one, without my wife knowing. See, I'm married, so I made a decision without my wife knowing. And her name is Chantel. Tail knew my position when I was in because we had worked together.
Tail didn't know you had a baby. It hit the fan when the baby went missing. You was only smashing lady, and lady probably you was smashing lady and giving her a couple of dollars. Listen, my mother was on them same blocks lady was on. I'm not being mean. It's just because I know the story, all right? He was a John. You know what I mean? She'd go and see this nigga when she needed some extra bread, and he would go see her when he didn't want to go home to his wife. Let's just call it for real. That's extra shit.
And, we had told the grandmother, the situation. So, and I know people are going to go ham or whatever, but I tried to be as responsible as my mind at that time could take. And, I didn't run. Everybody want to say something. Go get them other guys that ain't taking care of this and ain't taking care of that. I took care of it. So, it was only because at that time, in my mind, I was trying to protect my wife's feelings without her even.
Fuck your daughter, though, right? I'm sorry.
No. Without her even knowing.
So when you say you made a decision without your wife knowing, the decision was to give up custody of your daughter?
Hide his daughter. Say what it is.
to sign the rights over so the grandmother can do full. So she'll be able to provide anything that she needed as far as funding, stake, whatever she might need.
So you made that
You know,
decision
and
without your
Chantel,
wife. So do you feel like had you told your
without
wife
my
the
wife.
situation, she would have what? Maybe convinced you to take her, or convinced you to do what
You
you
know
did?
what? Now, when all this happened just now, I even apologized to my wife because I took away my wife's ability to, have her own feelings for the situation, and I knew that, and I had to have that conversation again with my wife. Now, had I not uh, done what I done, I know for sure this situation wouldn't have happened, and it's tearing me apart because she would have had the two homes to go to and come to, and a lot of stuff. But my background growing up, it wasn't. I mean, I think it's still. You gotta understand, everybody don't make right decisions. Everybody just hear the story. Oh, he should have done this. He should. I'm pretty sure you should have done some things too. Now, I'm just being upfront and truthful
Right,
about what happened at that time. That's all I'm doing.
right, right.
And I want to, if somebody want to ask, fine, but I still don't want to I don't want to get away from me putting the information out here that I do know.
Okay, right.
For the main reason we're here.
Yeah, most definitely.
But
I mean,
they
that was
do, I do think people deserve a background like, where's this guy being on?
and that's what I was.
So to the
That's
mature.
what I wanted to ask you. Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people it seem to be forming an opinion. Not knowing whatever the situation may be. So I was just trying to give you a platform to speak your piece and say what you had to say as far as how you felt about the situation, and as well as about what you know, as far as going on, as far as I guess the the conditions of the family that she was living in, and all of that. So I mean, what beyond what I just asked you would you like people to
I
know?
know y'all looking at me. When I get pissed off and I can't break some shit, I clean. It's a win-win when you do this. I'm aggravated in the fuck right now, so I'm trying to just clean.
Uh, I mean, I would take any questions that somebody want to ask, but as far as if we are moving forward to the grandmother of NaZiyah, I'm gonna move right forward.
Okay,
So
now before we do that though, I do see one question that I want to address. Now somebody asked, so did you cheat on your wife? Okay, and concede.
yeah, I was. Yep. Yep. That is what it would be. Yeah, that is what it would be.
So you
That
did
was
that to basically
what
protect her
happened.
from knowing about her and gave her up to the grandmother. So at what point did she find out about your daughter?
So
When Naziah
for
passed
one, when you
away,
put yourself on child support, they come out. I didn't know that. So they came
Good.
out, and
good.
I came home from work one day, and I had to have a total conversation with my wife. And what had happened had been done, Randy. And that's how my wife found out, and I had to deal with it, and
You didn't have to deal with it, sir.
I had to deal with it.
No. See, let me just tell you what's pissing me off right here, right now. Because we done seen too many cases of motherfucking grown ass adults, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, not just failing this girl. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. The wife, this nigga's trying to protect his wife's feeling and dismissing his daughter. But let me tell you this shit on how I read between the lines. See, brother, even after your wife found out, you still made no attempts to go get in this girl's life because you was too busy trying to motherfucking appease your wife. You was over there, I'm so sorry about this. You doing all of that shit, playing Jagged Edge and shit. I know you was, Big Thicky, and I know he ain't here, but I'm sorry. If he was here, I would say this, so I'd tell him if he gone. This shit is fucked up. Because even after she found out the child support papers, you still didn't say, well, look, now that you know, man, I'm finna go over here and see about my daughter. You still didn't care. You didn't get active until after NaZiyah went missing. And it was really pretty much by mistake. The fuck you mean? I'm sorry. I'm tired of all these parents. Because let me tell you something, man. I had a mama like NaZiyah's mama. So I know these niggas real well. And they ain't getting no goddamn sympathy. Man, shit be pissing me off so bad.
You know, one thing that was in the back of my mind, you know, as I was learning the history from some of the family of Lady, I guess that's her name, that's what y'all call her or whatnot, and her history.
I call it Chantel.
Okay, Chantel.
I call it Taylor Chantel, yeah.
Chantel Lady. I didn't know, I couldn't remember her first name.
Glamorous Chantel. Yeah, this family's fucking cooked. I'm not gonna say nothing else, y'all. I promise.
Like
Move the mic. Get aggravated.
What was she like when you were with her? If you could give us a window into that.
We worked together. You know, we redid homes, and you know, she was really good at painting, drywall, and things like that. So I don't know if I was arguing at home or, you know, and I used to drink heavily, smoke weed and drink all day back then. And was probably led to some of my conditions. So, intoxicated, she was like a real cool person, like to work with, you know. And
yeah, Chris Green, I get aggravated. You know, I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut up.
One thing led to another, and the situation had happened. But Chantel was dibbling dabbling with drugs back then. I believe. It was like coke. I think it was cocaine. You know, she didn't do no pipes. I think it was just cocaine. But
did you ever use it with her?
Who was that?
You ever used it with her?
Oh no, I don't. No,
okay.
No, I ain't even that type of cat. So, and you know, Chantel was, you know, bisexual. So, you know, it was kind of almost like a party lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it was. Now, you know, as far as when I talk to the grandmother, this situation has gotten a lot worse. You know, now, Chantel had a son before NaZiyah. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, I think, and you know what? Off from the podcast, I don't know if I heard right, but Chantel might even be adopted to her mother. I don't even know. You know, now these are things that I did not know.
Oh shit. So you mean to tell me? Am I echoing or anything? Hold on, y'all. So you mean to tell me that Hold on. I know you lying. Hold on. Let me remove this one. Hold on, let me get my mic right. So you mean to tell me that goddamn lady might not even be what's the faces? Nah, that makes sense. Nah, it makes sense. Ooh, that makes a lot of sense. Hold on. Let me bring it back to Thicky one more time. Hold on one second.
I don't know if I was arguing at home or, you know, and I used to drink heavily, smoke weed and drink all day back then. And was probably led to some of my conditions.
Trish, I'm sorry. Chantel is Lady, a.k.a. that's her name was Chantel to him. He said that she had many names, but Chantel is NaZiyah's mother, Lady.
So, intoxicated, she was like a real cool person, like to work with, you know. And I guess, you know, under influence, one thing led to another, and the situation had happened. But Chantel was dibbling dabbling with drugs back then. I believe it was like coke. I think it was cocaine. You know, she didn't do no pipes. I think it was just cocaine. But
did you ever use it with her?
Who was that?
You ever used it with her?
Oh no, I don't. No,
okay.
No, I ain't even that type of cat. So, and you know, Chantel was, you know, bisexual. So, you know, it was kind of almost like a party lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it was. Now, as far as when I talk to the grandmother, this situation has gotten a lot worse. Now, Chantel, Chantel had a son before NaZiyah. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
Do anybody even know who Vari dad is? Cause what the fuck, bro?
I think, and you know what? Off from the podcast, I don't know if I heard right, but Chantel might even be adopted to her mother. I don't even know.
That'll make sense to me because she don't look like them folks. I'm just being honest now. And that looked like Ren and Stimpy. Lady, when she wasn't on drugs, them pictures of her and NaZiyah was beautiful. And you could see why they probably did her worse. I know families that did that type of shit. You dig what I mean? But damn, that makes a lot of sense though.
So now these are things that I did not know. I just did not know. So, and then the other two kids, they like they said, they all ran away when they were younger. So
What other two kids? Cause see, people have been saying that Zaya's sister. What other two kids, y'all? Because this is the third time in a row where I'm hearing a reference to another kid. Now,
this is what I'm saying. All this stuff, I didn't even know. There was no communication or relationship like that. People make mistakes. People do things and they make mistakes, and you go on with your life.
hold on, y'all. Let me back up real quick, cause this something.
That I did not know. I just didn't know. Chantel had a son before NaZiyah. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, I think, and you know what? Off from the podcast, I don't know if I heard right, but Chantel might even be adopted to her mother. I don't even know. Now these are things that I did not know. I just did not know. So, and then the other two kids, they like they said, they all ran away when they were younger.
The other two kids, who they talking about?
This is what I'm saying. All this stuff, I didn't even know. There was no communication or relationship like that. People make mistakes. People do things and they make mistakes, and you go on with your life.
I mean, I just don't like how you keep calling this girl a mistake that's missing. Just say you have children out of strange conditions. You keep saying mistake, nigga. She ain't no mistake, nigga. The mistake was that you didn't tell your wife. The mistake was you was at the hotel slanging butts and nuts when you should have brought your ass home. The mistake was you just trying to hide your kid and you weren't even gonna tell your fucking wife. Them folks didn't come over there and bring you the paperwork. Now you want a nigga to feel sorry like you supposed to been daddy of the year. Man, fuck all that. For real.
And at that time,
dumbass shit.
You do damage, and you have to learn and you grow. And you just have to keep going through life. And that's basically, and that's what it was. That's what it is.
Okay, one more thing that's on my mind to ask you before you get into, your comments about the grandmother and whatnot. Like, so since you cheated on your wife and had Nevaeh, and you kept that secret from her to protect her, once you find out, she didn't say bring the baby home. Like, what was that? That was never a conversation as far as you.
Facts. What type of bitch you?
Found out? Yep. It was always a conversation. It was always a conversation. That was one of the main reasons I was taking bites, clothes, whatever that baby wanted over there. And that's,
That's the reason why you was taking things over there, because y'all was having conversations about bringing her.
We were trying to get, to still be in the baby's life.
Okay, so be involved.
When you make a decision,
she just wasn't important enough for you to introduce her to your wife. Your wife didn't want that woman, didn't want that baby there, because see, your wife would have automatically, if she really wanted you to be a father to your child, she would have said, go get her. Because see, one thing about women, what I do know is they want to see to make sure it's yours. She want to do something. She didn't want that. and you went with it. Let's be real. You just wasn't expecting that this little girl was gonna be missing and being unalived. Fuck all. You know, this type of shit make me wanna, man, come on, bro.
Decision. When you make a decision, you just can't just automatically change it. Like, no,
Right.
yeah. You just don't do that. So you show you can be there, and you show you can be responsible. And that's what I was doing. I was showing I could be responsible. I kept up my child support payments. To this day, they're still going. And so that's what it is. My wife is a very supportive person, you know, and it's nothing that it was nothing on her. None of this is on my wife at all. She's a beautiful, supporting person, and that's what it is about her, you know.
You know what's pissing me off with this man? And I'm trying so hard to be very delicate with my wording because I know he's no longer here anymore. But you know what? So NaZiyah's not here neither. You know what I mean? And I hear this nigga talking more about his fucking wife than his own kid. I don't give a fuck what she is. Facts. I mean, because it's not about, I just don't understand why every time there's a conversation that leads with NaZiyah, it don't stay on NaZiyah. Yo, yeah, y'all, people is cooked in this world. It make my ass itch. Like, seriously. Because you hear this? The whole conversation has been him talking about what the fuck him and his wife been going. I don't care about that. Nigga, your daughter gone.
Dig it. Okay, so, you know, I guess with that being said, you can go forward with, you know, whatever the details is you want to share about the family or the grandmother, the situation, or, you know, your whole view of this situation right
He can't even have a view. Nigga, you was outside.
So, it's like, when I was in the hospital and she was queuing me in on everything, she was telling me like the baby never ran away. This has never happened before, you know, and she was seen running with some kids. So, you know, we're going to find her and we're going to bring her home and ran away, everything. She was telling me like the baby never ran away. This has never happened before, you know, and she was seen running with some kids. So
she was seen running with some kids. So Annette told him she was seen running with some kids, but then she got on the stand and said she was seen with one friend and they went their separate ways. Man, I told you, this lady full of shit, y'all.
You know, we're going to find her and we're going to bring her home. And, you know, now my family's asking, like, well, are they going to do a police conference? And I'm like, well, Mama said they were going to do a police conference. They're trying to schedule it's going to be on this day. Now, mind you, this is like around the 9th or whatever. I believe it was the 9th when we was having these conversations.
And this would be February 9th. Because I don't even think, could have been, no, because January 9th was when she missed it. So this would have been February 9th that he's resulting to, or maybe even March. Because I don't even think news conferences start coming out until March. It might have been March 9th.
I'm like, okay, so it was just kept on, like, we were going to do this, we're going to do this. She even said Chantel came down from Ohio that helped pass out flyers. And when she had gotten there, I said, we were talking. I said, well, how's Tail doing? She said she's not doing too good about it. And I said, oh, okay. And I left it at that, you know, because, you know, I know what type of state Telly be in. So I left it at that. But she was helping look for, as far as I know, they were passing out flyers looking. So as time goes on, it's just a whole bunch of, like, I would call Mama, and I didn't want to bother her, but she was always be like, I'm tired, and yeah, baby, and she's always like she seemed like the perfect grandmother. Well, that's when I used to go over there, everything the house was immaculate, you know. She was always working, trying to do something. The baby was happy, cooking, things like that. It was never, and she's a God-fearing woman, so, you know, it was always.
This nigga talking about that leg. He talking about that neck.
You know, he was always working, trying to do something. The baby was happy, cooking, things like that. It was,
You know, this nigga keeps saying the baby. I don't even really think he knows his daughter's name, and I ain't even trying to be funny. He keeps saying the baby because he don't know her name. He don't know. Like, he don't know, bro.
never, and she's a God-fearing woman. So, you know, it was always like a good vibe. So I respected her with a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, if she told me something, I really believed it. I would have never thought it would be so much shady stuff coming from her direction, you know. And then they got twins. She has twins, you know. They used to live with her, you know. And so now, you know, I guess one of them don't, one of them do. I don't know. I just know that's the part of the family that I don't.
So basically, you're saying all of that to say that the picture was painted perfectly in your eyes, and it looked like nothing was going wrong, or nothing was ever wrong in the situation.
Ever wrong.
And when
Right.
this particular situation came about, they're telling you that this is something that never happened, and you know they weren't worried about it as if shit. They was expecting her to come back home anytime soon.
Right. No, correct. Now, I want to say this. Now, at this time, they were dealing with DPS, that's the Detroit School System Police, right? So she had even explained that to me. So eventually, when I got out, I didn't want to keep talking to her, but I wanted more information, you know. So I got out of the hospital. I wasn't even supposed to be walking. I'm on a medicine that keeps my heart pumping. You know, I wasn't even supposed to be walking. You know, I got nurses calling me because they was concerned because the police. And I'm out there, me, my wife passing out flyers, my sister, my son, my nephew. We out here passing out flyers. You know, and I would stop over at Mom's house and try to get, you know, direction of where I should go, what's going on. And she would just come out. She said, oh, yeah, we out passing them out earlier. And this and that. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to do this. We out there day and night. But every time we went, they were in the house. And then the twins, like, I know them. They never came out the house. So I feel like, what's going on over here? So one day I went over there, or I was having a conversation with the grandmother. She said, I don't know why everybody want to ask where, like, Chantel got an older son. I think he's around 70, 18 now. They want to talk to him. I don't know why the police want to talk to him. He ain't got nothing to do nothing with it. You see what I'm saying? It's just her attitudes started changing.
Okay, so now you're saying that, right? Basically, you're saying all of that to say that, you know, you notice red flags about something.
Yeah, he talking about his heart condition. You know what I'm saying? His heart went wrong with his heart when he was down there at the hotel with Lainey. You know what I'm saying? Or Chantel. You know what I'm saying? Slanging butts and nuts. You know, he didn't care then. Like, this nigga, man.
Certain situations, and you probe them and ask them about it, and they act suspiciously, I guess to say, for lack of a better way of explaining it.
Right. Now, when we was trying, I said, Mama, and after a while, I'm like, Mama, we done put these flyers up. All the kids that we talking to, they're saying they know her, but they ain't seen her 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm like, well, that's about when the thing happened. It ain't nobody seeing her, but Mama telling me they seeing her running up and down the street. You know, and I'm trying to keep calm. Now, after we go through, and I'm going to jump right back, you know, DPS and the Detroit Police Department, they do have a certain procedure and protocol on how they do things. If it's a runaway, I think they treat the situation different than a missing person. I don't know. Now that all this came out, I think she was reported as a runaway.
I told y'all that. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to make it seem like she ran away so they can keep collecting checks.
You know, and I think that was set up like that. I really do. I really do think it was set up like a runaway for time purposes. And I'm simply saying that because I asked Grandma, I said, now look, Mom, I just want to ask a few more questions. Let me tell you this. Now, we was talking, and she had told me the summertime, oh yeah, she's a straight A student. She even went to the summer school classes and everything. So they had said that I pulled up, a guy was at the school in a pickup truck. And NaZiyah had went out there to the pickup truck. And the principal had supposedly went out there and said, who were you talking to who was that? NaZiyah turned around and said, this is my dad. So the lady was like, yo, Dad. So when she started walking towards her, they said the guy pulled off. So the NaZiyah came back in. So I said, so the lady was like, yo, Dad. So when she started walking towards her, they said the guy pulled off. So the NaZiyah came back in.
Did he just say Keziah? I swear to God, I'm gonna need. Please tell me he didn't say that shit. Did he just say Keziah? Or is he choking on spit? Huh? Is he choking on spit? Or did he say Keziah?
My dad. So the lady was like, yo.
And that would be the same time when Jarvis came up there and the lady reported it to Annette. And that's when she was taken from the summer school all of a sudden.
So when she started walking towards her, they said the guy pulled off. So the NaZiyah came back in. So I said, well, Ma, I didn't know where y'all lived at. She was like, yeah, because we moved. I said, well, ain't nobody called. But she was like, well, we tried to call. The number didn't go through. I said, Mama, I was in the hospital so long, I don't even know where that phone was. I said, and if anything, what happened, I will call you. She was like, I know, you're very respectful. So I'm not thinking of the conversation, so we still talk. I said, well, what did she say? She said she asked her, what that she said. She looked at her and said, that's my daddy, Anna. And she was like, that is not your dad. And this, that. So I think she said she started crying or whatever. And she said, we'll deal with this later. So I'm like, okay. So
Sorry,
I'm
y'all.
like, what happened? I will call you. She was like, I know, you're very respectful. So I'm not thinking of the conversation, so we still talk. I said, well, what did she say? She said she asked her, what that she said. She looked at her and said, that's my daddy, Anna. And she was like, that is not your dad. And this, that. So I think she said she started crying or whatever. And she said, we'll deal with this later. So I'm like, okay. So now going back real quick. Now, mind, I told you when we got out, we was passing out flyers. I would go over there and ask her what area should I go in. She was like, well, go down there to Chatsworth, on Chatsworth. So I guess the back of the school sits on Chatsworth. I said, well, Mom, why would I go down there on Chatsworth? She was like, because that's when NaZiyah walked through the field and met with that guy at the truck. I said, so she walked through the back of the school, Mom, and walked through the field? I'm trying to figure out. She was like,
say all of that to say that they
the story
knew that she was possibly dealing with somebody out of her age range and was not doing nothing about it?
Now, I'm about to tell you some more stuff. I just wanted to give you that scenario. Now, NaZiyah is smart, okay? If that was the case, I believe she was covering up for somebody. He didn't want them to get exposed. Now, as I listen to your podcast,
that's over age.
That she knows. Yep, that she knows. And they not her age. Now that I listen to your story, and it's like this guy who's one of the twins' boyfriends. You see what I'm saying? And this guy's supposed to have all this sexual misconduct junk and all this nasty stuff. Okay, red flag. Yeah, I believe that's him. I believe it's him. Because I don't know none of this. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say it's this guy, but I believe it's him. I just heard about this yesterday. So now before all this, me and Mom was having a conversation. I said, well, Mom, how how did you manage? You know, she said, well, I think Shan, one of the twins, her man would pick up the kids from school sometimes, take them up to his shop, and they would clean up and work up there, and she would go pick them up. So I'm thinking like, well, maybe this is the guy she was protecting. This before I even know this guy was a pedophile. So, you know, I'm like, okay, Ma, you know, we need to look into that. She was like, no, because he ain't with her no more, you know, or whatever that she might have said, you know. So I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, but now I listen to your podcast, and I'm putting two to two together. So your podcast, I listened to that last night, right?
Right.
That night, I texted the grandmother. I said, oh my God, I can't believe you. I said, twin, you know, like this shit really hurt. I said, y'all sick over there. I said, 7 kids, like 5 with this guy, 7. You know what I'm saying? But I asked Mama before I sent them text, who is Jarvis? You know this woman sat up there and act like she ain't know who he was.
Yeah, she did that in court too. She act like she know who he was.
And then was like, that's Tim's boyfriend. I said, well, is that the one they got in custody? She was like, look, her voice got real uppity then. She was like, look, I'm not saying nothing. The police say people gonna say things. When you get out here, they're gonna, and don't believe them until they come back and tell you what's what. But I've been asking you the truth about these situations, and you haven't been truthful not once. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you be talking about waiting on Lady to tell her something? You the guardian. She the guardian. What the fuck Lady gonna tell her? Lady out in the streets with this nigga. The fuck?
She go back and tell the police, my daughter has been running away. But you tell me she has never done it before. I mean, it's so many things that's not added up.
I mean, and that's the thing that I'm hearing from a lot of people as far as, and I'm not here to throw nobody under the bus.
I am. I'm throwing their ass all the way under the damn bus. This lady, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, kept saying that girl was running away and things like that because she did not give a fuck. That is the truth. That is the reality of this shit. Tell me, I used to call her glamorous. No, the fuck you didn't. You ain't got one picture of your granddaughter on your page for no birthday. Fucking y'all women make good women look fucking terrible. Y'all scums of the fucking earth. Facts.
I'm just discussing the things that I've heard and things that I see. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are saying that the story from the story from the person that it's coming from is switching up, like, you know, left and right, up and down. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And so when I'm given the information that I'm heard, it may, I mean, that I'm being told, it may sound like my shit is up, down, left, and right. You know what I mean? But,
right, but I mean, coming from the grandmother, man, this should be on point. Period.
And I actually, I'm gonna say this. You know, I actually obtained a contact number for the grandmother, and I called her not long ago, less than 2 hours ago. And I reached out to her, you know, respectfully and said, you know, I'm Mark D from Selmar Radio. I'm a citizen journalist. I have a independent media outlet, and you know, I've been kind of covering the story over the last couple of days, and I wanted to reach out to you to see if you wanted to have a conversation and share your piece on what's going on. You know, I mean, I'm unbiased. I'm not the police. I'm not, you know, I'm a citizen journalist. I'm not even the mainstream terrestrial news corporate outlet. You know what I mean? So I was just giving her a platform to. You know, to speak, and you know, to me personally, she sounded a little, I don't know if it was worried, disgruntled, or whatnot, but she declined my offer to speak and got off the phone real quick.
Yeah, because see, people who don't want no help usually are the people who did some shit. If my child goes missing, guardian or not, my granddaughter goes missing, and I see the police ain't moving like they supposed to be moving, then I'm on every outlet I can get on. Every single last one of them bitches. Niggas gonna get sick of seeing my face. That's how I would be. But these women running away and don't want to talk and all of that shit, man, miss me with it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. She ain't trying to deal with none of this, man. I'm telling you. That's why I didn't even want to ask her questions, because her demeanor was off. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to respect her. She has always been, when you say grandmother, I'm talking like a respectable person. I don't even know what all this stuff, all the adoptions and all this stuff. I It didn't even seem like that was in that category. It's like she's
Well,
been adopted.
from what I hear, the grandmother, and I don't know how true it is, right? But two other people is telling me they don't know how she ended up with not only your kids but the other seven kids under the age of 10 that's in the house right now because she in fact lost her kids to CPS when they were younger. Her five kids they all ran away or something like that. But that's just a story that I'm told. So.
Right. Oh my God.
But yeah, man, like I said, man, I really just wanted to, like I said, hear, how you felt, you know what I'm saying, see, how you was doing and give you a platform to speak and ask you a couple of questions because the main concern, from even me, I mean, was like, where's her dad at? Like, where's he at all of this time? Just wanted to, give you.
My main question. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really give a fuck about Lady or this. My main question was, where is NaZiyah? Where's NaZiyah? You know what I mean? That's it.
Opportunity to speak and tell everybody what it is that you was going through in regards to all of this.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it, man, because when I do talk to police, you only get you listen and you got to let them do their job. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the Detroit Police Department. I do appreciate DPS because when Detroit stepped in, bro, all this.
This man really about to piss me off. He said he respected Detroit Police Department and DPS. Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this shit out loud? The same DPS. The girl is on the floor. Finna counselor ain't there. Let motherfucking niggas named Jarvis come up pick up your kid. Fuck looking at the sheet. Marking her present on January 10th when the girl was nowhere to be found. But he praising these niggas. Yo baby girl file sat on the nigga desk because he retired for 30 days. DPS get the case and they do just a fucked up. Do you know your daughter's shoes? You know what I'm saying? Was collected as evidence and then left as evidence and everybody. Man, if you don't be quiet.
Stuff started moving like clockwork.
You
know what I'm saying? When Detroit police got the case, everything started moving like clockwork. I want to get like Tamara, that police commissioner, she has been overly outstanding. Eric from the 300, my sister Kelly Stein, she has been networking, doing things, and I appreciate it. I mean, I'm talking about Eric called me for the 300, called me at night. We got to talking. He said, hold on. We talking to the deputy chief trying to get answers through. I didn't even know they worked that night like that, so, and I really do appreciate it. And I really do think if it wasn't misled, I think a lot of stuff could have been done a lot faster. I really do think the whole situation was misled, like she was a runaway, and to cover up some real sick stuff that was already going on over in the house.
Yeah, that's kind of up the lane that somebody else said. You know what I mean? As far as same thing that they said, man. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna give you a break, sir. I'm not gonna keep you all night, man. And I'm gonna let let the call-in line breathe a little bit. Everybody is discussing the comments, the conversation we just had. So you can go check that out while I prepare to open up the phone lines for the grandmother's cousin, who is very angry about speaking about this situation. So, like I said, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, man, and I don't appreciate you sharing your experiences because I don't appreciate you going through this, brother. But I'm glad that you are sound minded enough to and hard enough to speak with us about all of this right now.
Oh yes, sir. I've done a lot of growing. I'm talking about some of the biggest mistakes in my life, man. And I got a wonderful wife who stuck with me. And I'm hurt. I killed myself on this one. sometimes you can really hurt yourself. And I don't want to say even grow and move on. You got to stay there for a minute. I have to stay here for a minute, and deal with this situation. This ain't no get your parents' car and have an accident. This is my baby's life. And I shouldn't. I really do feel like I left her
You did.
high and dry on this one. It don't matter.
I agree with you. I was waiting on you to say that the whole damn time. Facts. You did. You left her. You left her high and dry. You know what I'm saying? Off the possibility or you being coward enough to be scared to face your wife. That's the realest shit you said this whole time.
Man, if I lost contact or what, it should have been. I was a man. I should have.
You feel like you failed her. You feel like you failed her.
I feel like I should have continued being a man and had the conversations I needed to have. Because it was men out here doing that. They were having conversations, having that life, having that. Even the ones that didn't have jobs, some of them, they had multiple relationships. They had relations with different women and babies, and they did what they could.
So are you still with your? Is it your wife currently that you with now? That you still with from back then?
Oh yes.
Okay,
yes,
so as beautiful and as wonderful as a woman as you describe her to be, you don't think she would allow you to take your daughter in?
Oh, now you know what I do, but it's not like that when you out living a certain type of life, man. It's just not like that. It ain't like I'm out here and I'm doing all these, man, working on house games is treacherous. It's just treacherous. You begin to, the nightlife catch you, you drinking, you're making money, you're paying bills, everything moving fast, and it's just like almost.
Nigga, the question was, would your wife allow her to come live with you? We know the answer because you're going all the way around Detroit instead of answering the question straight. You feel what I mean? Like
you might as well say the dope game, man. And you're moving fast, and you're not recognizing a lot, man. You're just not. And you have to be a sound mind. But you know what? Just like now today, you have to tie yourself to somebody and to something. And that's what I've done. I've been to a lot of ministries. I've been to Perfection. Pastor Wine has been a blessing over there. I learned a lot from the ministers over there. That sharpened my game, and I just kept moving around to where, now I'm tying myself to over here with Great Faith Ministries, and they have been there for me, and they've been a good anchor. I talked to the pastors.
Mark, facts. Your face is my feelings inside. I feel you, bro. Because what the fuck is this nigga talking about? You ask one question, he break right. You know what I'm saying? And then he giving you knowledge that you don't even need. Shit don't even make sense. If you put carpet outside, the grass will fly in the sky. Nigga, it don't... Shut up. Like, bro...
Go there all day. And, I'm able to go to them with the problems to straighten things out. And as best as you can. You have to continue to live your life.
Yeah, you gotta continue to live your life, but at the same time, bro, your life, just like when you get into a relationship, right? You're not the same person that you were before the relationship. Once you get into the relationship, right? You got to make changes. You got to make sacrifices.
You have to make changes and sacrifices.
And those same, that same, not those same, but the same thing has to happen. You know what I mean? On a whole another level when you have kids.
Nick,
you gotta make changes.
First Lady Mimi. He still ain't answered the question. It's been 38 minutes. We waiting. The fuck?
Changes and sacrifices on a different level. You know what I mean? So it's.
Yeah, definitely. But what I'm saying is that people are always running their mouth. I'm out here in the open. Everybody that's saying stuff, if you put them out here in the open, you will get bombarded too. Nobody's perfect. Right. You have to stay. Just like the grandmother, she was a beautiful person. She has to stay under the Word of God. Just like me, I need to stay under the Word of God. When you make that lifestyle change, it's a lifestyle change. It ain't just for that moment. And then when you begin to walk and do those things, it's a lot of things you learn. You make your mistakes, you move on. I made my mistakes, and I'm still gonna make mistakes, but I'm not gonna stop. You know, I'm not gonna stop. I did not. I'm just not. I'm not gonna stop. And that's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. I have to keep going. I have to keep going. And I'm not saying going without this situation. I'm talking
Boy, he just called his baby a situation. If you don't, boy.
about as far as learning and growing. People are always gonna have a comeback to anything you say.
Most definitely.
But I gotta, you just gotta keep on, you gotta keep on going, man. You can't stop.
All right, bro.
Yeah, roll up,
Man,
bro.
like I said, man, I appreciate your time, man, and you know, getting your opinions and your view of this whole situation off your chest, man. As a lot of people had questions, like I said, as myself, wanted to know a couple of things, man. So I'm glad that you you know, cleared it up as possible, as best as you possibly could, from your angle, man. And you know, you, like I said, you go ahead and get some.
I don't feel like he cleared up nothing. Is it just me? Is it just I don't feel like he answered shit. Is it me? I know I'm over here drinking and I'm smoking, but nah, fuck that. I only know about his wife. That's it. I don't even understand. You know, hell yeah, Mark D ready to wrap it up. He trying to smoke a blunt. That nigga got on his nerves so bad. I can see it all in their face. I can see it all in that nigga face, man. Mark was getting mad. But see, that's how I have to be on these platforms. You got to be politically correct, no matter how much it irks you. And bless his heart, because that man was ready to, man, what the fuck?
Rest, man, because you know, I don't want to put no more stress on your brother than you already
Thanks, man.
man. And I'm like I said, open up the phone
Reach
line.
back out, man.
Oh yeah,
Reach
man. I'm
back
definitely
out.
staying. Oh, come on, bro. I'm gonna stay in contact with you, man. And, you know, check on you every once in a while and see what's up, man. And you know, because this definitely, like I said, kind of dear to my heart, because you know, I'm kind of going through a situation with CPS where I'm, you know, what I'm saying, fighting for my son on some different level type shit. So you know, what I mean, I just kind of feel for this whole situation right now. So, but
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
but yeah, man, we gonna clear it out. And let's see what Kenya got to say, man. You enjoy your night, get some rest, man, and check out the rest of the broadcast if you choose to.
Yep. And then I'm gonna come back at you to see if you send out this post. We're gonna be out here searching for this week. We're gonna try to do a big push like between Wednesday and Thursday on one of these days where it's decent to where we could be comfortable. Because I don't want to inconvenience nobody. And we got all the flyers. So if you want to come out and help, that'd be a blessing too.
All right.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
That's probably why people won't come talk to me. Maybe I need to pipe myself down. Because my face is going to tell the truth all the time. You know what I mean? I can't help it if I hear what you're saying and it makes me want to bite your ass. I mean, if I can't have my intelligence insulted, it do something different to me. It's like I feel it brewing on the inside. I'll be about to spontaneous combust. No cap. I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. I had never reacted to this this video of the daddy. Yeah, y'all just let me know how y'all feel in the comments. He didn't slight piss me off shortly. Hold, please.